the origins of the word more. Just let me give you some examples of the word more. There was a brother or gentleman by the name of Richard Hakluyt. He was a traveler in the 1400s who reported that in the old times, the people of Africa were called Ethiops or Moors or Morens, which means that the word Moor was used for anybody of dark complexion. Like Ethiop means land of burnt faces. Moors meant black. In Spanish, mora is blackberry. Moreno is dark complexion. Moreno also means sweetheart. Mira morena. You know, when you say morena in Spanish, sometimes that means sweetheart. In French, moricard means dark skin. Morillon means black grape. In Italian, mora means Negro or Moorish female. Mora also means blackberry, which when you go to Spanish, mora means blackberry. And then you have moreo, M-O-R-A-I-O-L-A, which means a black olive. So you have the derivation of the word more. So they can't get out of the concept of what the word meant. The word means black. But you see, when you're speaking English, English says that you can say what you want to because you control people's minds. So if you say it, it is. I see.
When I speak, you can't talk unless spoken to. Most sound like records, broken too, with no facts. Trust me, I'm not quoting you. Melanin beings do what they're not supposed to. Going against the biological makeup. Instead of shooting sun rays, guns they take up to go against tanks and carriers of aircraft. When I use air, the beast says no witchcraft. When I use fire, speak truth and shut up a liar. If I use earth, I'm calling on fam from the hollow core. When I use water, flow like a tsunami on y'all. Martin Luther told y'all non-violence. He was a warlock, Rosicrucian, handle magic in silence. Been on this continent, living in minus degrees and temp, and the plus is where my mind is. Open up your mind, iris. I said it's ISIS. A sun here, who is who the Christ is. Light of the world, watch me enlighten a nerd. In your stomach like the center, I'll frighten your turds. Give you the runs, heighten your blurs with tones and words. Talk the skyscrapers are killing the birds. I'm giving you nerves and my goosebumps single your spine. You're listening to Iron Sheik and thinking it's prime. The absolute oils got me not stinking a dime. Can't check enough people's house, man, it's stinking a swine. Many sell out for a deal and sign with ink on the line. Incarcerating your speech with fiat, cars and yachts. Drinking devil's liquids, Henny and yacht. Rappers turn convicts, goddess turn bomb tricks. Niggas yelling fuck the police is nonsense. They got guns by the box and run your streets. With all your so-called whore after they clap at your throat. Parole not, when caught, the gat didn't blow. I heard stories about men putting cock in a bro in the showers, or get guards to leave the watchtowers while the gang rape you in a bed of dead flowers. Thousands of brothers, they wore those briefs. Can't think how much semen is on those sheets. Most need to go in strong, not weak. Like my babe brothers, LeBron and Shakur Malik. It's not cool living in the jail cell. Rappers and MCs are liars and the truth they don't tell. Agents using examples of Larry Davis to have you shooting out with pigs from the basement to get caught and then become a killer replacement. Cops crooked like the eyebrow bust, they lie too. Seeing is believing, believing is fake. They say fuck fruition, they have blind faith. They take your collection, won't give it to God. They take your perception and they give it to false. Seeing is believing, believing is fake. They say fuck fruition, they have blind faith. They take your collection, won't give it to God. They take your perception and they give it to God. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real, but they too fake. Most act minor, but think they too great. Most be fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real, but they too fake. Most act minor, but think they too great. Most be fake just cause they too bait. Welcome to Scarborough. Youths want cash without tango. Candle magic got me calling on Shango. When I strike, I'm coming from lightning angles. Wet up in your rod like dangles. Know your place. When me and the God step in the place, devils get step in their face. No matter your race, watch your speech. We defend peace with justice. Love for the God make you shit like mustard or run like custard. Too slow, so you know how it goes. Send him to Assad. I'm not the one to judge you, bro, or judge you, sis. Humanity written from hip to hip, but you're shaking fucking them and not getting your womb equipped, degrading yourself for women's rights, not saving yourself, turning a dyke but won't spiritually raise yourself, waste of sperm, can't even wait to perm, getting viruses and symptoms, you're thinking it's germs, making so many mistakes, from none you learn, seeing your future as the fucking cauldron turn, ease the burn of your young son's death, blaming the influences but never blaming yourself, driver shot but never a crooked cop, crip shot but never a racist cop, racism doesn't exist so stop, Rex 84, King Alfred got him on the block for chopping, nigga mortus, abuse ain't stopping, guns on your shirts but your pistol's not cocking, popping and locking, guns jam for 10 you're locked in, or eternal sleep in a closed coffin. Most don't learn till it's too late, most say that they real but they too fake, most act minor but think they too great, most be fake just cause they too big, most don't learn till it's too late, most say that they real but they too fake, most act minor but think they too great, most be fake just cause they too big. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all, join the MST. You should hear about birth rights and nationality, for you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all, join the MST. You should hear about birth rights and nationality, for you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Since 1913, I've been planting the seeds. Enemies planted agents, I had to leave. I know it was abrupt, but bear with me, please. Among the many teaching, man have two selves. These are lower and higher. You want the one that justice breeds. Uplifting the Moors. Be yourself is what you need. Ancient forefathers didn't slide on their knees. Not even under his own vine and fig trees. Fell to slavery for abandoning divine creeds. They nationalized since 1774. Now you hurt others with hands, tongues, and thoughts. Confused at the roads when you see them cross. The object of Moore's life is to unfold a force. Islam doesn't teach we were born in sin. If unlimited capacities can be found within, humanity has been left at the mercy of those who in them have no mercy. If only Allah guards the Moorish movement, the faith in your prophet, please don't lose it. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all, join the MST. You should hear about birth rights and nationality, for you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all, join the MST. You should hear about birth rights and nationality, for you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Coming as he did with a national message, many disrespect and don't get the lessons. Following the speakers, not the words spoken. Connect to the higher powers, all wires broken. This is our prophet, and there's none left. False prophets point followers to the joys of death. Circle 7 says Jesus, but means Ben Yosef. Where you find Allah, we know the heart is closest. To find a real prophet in these days is rare. Most propagate a faith to have the people in fear. Together we stand, divided we fall. Prophet says study the Constitution, cause law is all divine and national principle specific. His call to all loyal and faithful Moors is specific. Most made our prophets suffer severely in the past, waving banners with the claims of a national flag. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST, INC, about birth rights and nationality. You are not Negroes, standing in front Zion gates. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, about birth rights and nationality. You are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Squadron, neutrals on stage to the crowd, I'm a marksman. Crosshair, your pioneer, my dress shoes are Clarks, man. No sweat on shoes, rappers dressed like cowboys. In tight jeans like Aerosmith, my time's now, boy. Y'all been on the mic, some of y'all fell off the sages. You got the ancient facts, so you got me on your cases. Got me on the humble, but if you get it twisted, who will make you crash your car and blast you with spirits? No fear none, ritualistics make rapping dummies. Limber, then some wet biscuits, rise you like biscuit. Your bank account doubles. Talking arms out and making youths get in trouble. You don't have to believe it, I call it as I see it, call me Simon. The more carrying the cross will pale Jesus. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' 41 open, henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' 41 open, henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' for the IHF and TCMB squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' 41 open, yo, handshake dead, man, we all grown up. Lao Tzu doing the art, set won a great cup. Demolition man, a married man, call it royalty. Bending at my lectures, showing their loyalty. Agents try to flop it and bump it through Orishas. Give you day and nightmares like deep sea creatures. Give you bad karma, cancel karmic credit. If I put your name on it, you wish I never said it. You wish I just said it. You plotted and you schemed. I saw you, visualizing the golden beam. Look through the stargate, a glimpse of the future, made me see your judgment. Until the thugs not the suture. Medallions on string, thinking I'm a cheapskate. Fake rocks get locks cut off like Buddha's beefcake. Fake Milwaukee get slapped with Dark Circle 7. And Brandon with Moby True Ali as a lesson. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' 41 open, henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' 41 open, henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' for the IHF and QCMB squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman. Reppin' for the
Look at this.
Look at the names.
That's what the
Look
shit
at the names. Google, LLC, Barack Hussein, Joe Biden, all of them.
All of them going to court. Look at this.
That's in court.
That's why America closed down, bro. They all went to fucking court.
Islam Moors. Peace and love to all Moors. Peace and love to all the mothers. Give thanks for life. Crazy times right now. Interesting times. That we still don't want to get. That people are moving with a national body politic mindset. Our people playing games. They want to play Negro games. Everybody else in the world, they're taking their place amongst the affairs of men while we're playing around. We don't even know who we are. The Moors do something. Moors can't do anything because some Moors want to be Negro, black, colored, and whatever. So how can we do something? You can't claim a dead status and want to do something lawful. You claim a dead status and you can't do anything lawful. Nothing. Now, how is a continent shutting down? A continent's a corporation? Since when is a continent a corporation? Told you. The Moors who we call master teachers, been telling us what's going down. This is not news. This is not new. It's new to you people who don't study. It's new to you people who don't study. And everybody else is getting hip to the game. And they're using their nationality and they're standing up for rights and doing certain things. And we can't do anything. So as soon as Moors do something, whoever we're making our presentation to is looking at everybody else who are Moors too, but calling themselves some dumb stuff. And they're looking back at us. And it's a draw. Because Drew Ali told these Moors that the president of the U.S. corpse told him giving these niggers Islam is like putting a pair of pants on a horse.
Right.
But you know what I mean? I understand your obligations. So I'll back anything that you say you want to do. But these Negroes right here, those are our property. And our property carries out our orders. Whether they know those are our orders or not. This is the president telling Noble Drew Ali. And he still did what he did, you know what I mean? Saved a few million. And then here we are. How come we don't have something? Because we don't have a nationality. And everybody else is using the powers of their ancient foremothers and forefathers to prove the point. While we're playing games.
Look what it is. Trafficking organs. Harvesting. Hong Kong. All of them versus the United States. Look at that. Look. But they ain't said nothing. They told us to stand in the house like it was cattle.
No, but right, so our mindset is that because of COVID, now we're cattle. Just like you said, we didn't start this yesterday. Our master teachers been put us on.
Been telling us.
The Moorish master teachers have been letting us know what's going on. Not just because of COVID, now we can decipher something. Been on what it is was about to happen. Islam more. I'm just gonna pull up the actual thing so we could talk about some stuff. But go ahead. Do you have anything before we go in on this hoopla?
No, just keep stressing the fact that how our master teachers, our Moorish master teachers, been bringing this information since the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Been bringing this information. You see, they got Bobby Hemmett doing these videos in the 90. You see C. Freeman now talking about this information in 93. You can see videos of Taj talking about all King Alfred playing, Roman Pontifex, done the verses. All of this. Been telling us. That's another reason why I was telling you the other day, even one of my friends was telling me, came over here, who he's not on the information like that, but he even came over just to tell me, it looked like the Moors was right. And I'm looking at him like what he been watching in order for him to come over here and tell me that.
One. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause that whole thing is crazy. He just came over, to check me or whatever, check up on me, and then he was like, "Yo, looks like the Moors was right." They on social media making it seem, like you guys been bringing this information, and I was like, "Yeah, man, that's he just been telling us, been saying all of this." All of this, because it looks like the Moors was right. Like, that means, because over the years, the Moors been telling you, like, you better proclaim your nationality because it's about to start looking crazy in a second. You know, like they little things going around now. You know, like there was one incident where I guess some lady in some other corporate jurisdiction where they're pulling people over because you got to have your paperwork to prove that you have to go to work, or you're because they have curfew, so you got to be able to show the paperwork that you're. And when I heard that, I was like, paperwork. Like, what do you like? As soon as I heard, I was like, paperwork. I said, so like, what more has been saying, like, you know, like, you ain't proclaiming your nationality, you ain't got no proof. They're pulling people over, asking them for their paperwork to see if they can be outside. You know, like, show me something that you can be outside. And depending on where you get your permission from or prescription, that's what a prescription is now. Wherever you get your prescription from is going to determine where you can go outside or be amongst the people or whatever. And again, and then the biggest of them all, the prophet been telling us this. Been telling us this. The 20s, the prophet was telling us, you better get enough food for 6 months. You better have enough water for 6 months. Been telling us. That's one of the first things you find out coming into this information. Studying, you start hearing that a lot. Like, oh, you got to prepare for, you know, the worst. That's one of the first things I found out coming to the information. Like, oh, we need to start. And speaking of that, my Moabite thanked me the other day because, well, basically thanked me. She just gave me that look like, you was right, but whatever. But you know, like the stacking up on stuff over the years. You know what I mean? We've been stacking up on stuff. You know, like, you know, I know everybody was going crazy over that toilet tissue stuff or whatever. We just been had toilet tissue. Like, that's not a issue over here. We've been had that stuff on stack. We've been had paper towels. We've been had water on stack. Like, I'm looking at people like, see, Prophet Ben told us. The mothers, Taj, Grand Sheik, Ben told us years ago. Y'all been telling us. Been telling us. You gotta prepare. And then gotta get your water up.
And then how people might have missed it is because they get caught up in somebody brought up some process now.
Oh.
So now they're wasting time going down some rabbit hole where they don't know where this thing's gonna end up because whoever put them onto this didn't tell them where it's gonna end up. And time's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And
But
like you say,
here we are.
Yeah. And like you always say too, the boat left the dock.
Yeah. And that's what the mothers said. It's not what even I said. That's what the mothers said.
Right.
Mother's been said
Years
that.
ago though.
Been said
Years
that.
ago.
Mother's been said the boat left the dock. What are you talking about? What boat? What are you talking about? Oh, okay.
What boat? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You know. But one of the things that you brought up too was the prescription.
Right.
Now, this is Black's Law Dictionary prescription. A direction of remedy or remedies for a disease and the manner of using them. A formula for the preparation of a drug and medicine. International law. Acquisition of sovereignty over a territory through continuous and undisputed exercise of sovereignty over it during such a period as is necessary to create under the influence of historical development the general conviction that the present condition of things is in conformity with international order. international order says nationality. So when they come around and you think prescription is that their stuff that they're giving you for whatever. Because remember, we're in an international venue. So anything to do with medicine and whatever is letting you know that that's fraud. If they say prescription,
there you go.
Whatever jurisdiction it is. Because from an international perspective, it's talking about the acquisition of sovereignty and being in tune with international order. And if the common theme for international order has been nationality, this is why it's Pasha versus Google LLC. Because Pasha is Iranian, which is really Persian, which is really Asiatics.
Look what this is, man. Like, man, prescription has nothing to do with something with some doctor or some medicine. That's a fraud. Yo, that's crazy.
And just like authenticate the birth certificate, if the prescription is from them, you just gave up your sovereignty. They just acquired your sovereignty by your volunteering it. You don't know what they're giving you when you come back with that paper. Most people don't even check. There's, the guy with the stuff on the wall gave me this paper, said to come here and give you this other guy with stuff on the wall this paper. And he's just giving you stuff. Right? And then now you're trying to find out that all that stuff is nanotechnology and all that, getting certain things in your bloodstream so they can control you with microwave beams and have you think in a certain way because you decided not to listen to Ras Ben and have your crystals on you? Or you thought Ras Ben was just some Rasta guy, some black Rasta guys talking some BS about some energy and all that stuff. When right now, you should have been had rock salt lamps all over the place.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned some of these master teachers, to me, in my humble opinion, are just generations ahead of time.
Yeah.
When we start,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
As far as in our realm, our generation,
right,
of master teachers, yeah.
Yep.
Not the ones who transitioned, or was the ones who are on the earth plane right now that we can say, oh yeah, there he is right over there.
Yep.
Right? That we're gonna take pictures with them or whatever like that because we know how powerful it is with them and their energy or whatever. Right? Yeah.
Right. Like when we look at, I'm glad you said that. Just like when we look at pictures with Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, and then the people that he was around in the picture. Like, when we look at those pictures, I know a lot of more like, I wonder who that person is, who that person is.
Yeah.
Like, who are these people and stuff like that? Like, we look 100, 200 years from now, when stuff is kicking off, people are going to be looking at pictures from now, then, like, yo, who was these Moors that was in it? Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Just 100. We just generations ahead because, like you said, we're in it. It don't sit in with us like it should be, you know, because we're in it. That's why I look at those master teachers like, man, it's like the Moors say a lot too. It's a good time to be a Moor. It's a good time right now because we know what's going on. We're in the situation that is going on, but we also, because we're well studied, it's not really, you know, going to affect the way we thinking or anything, or way we move, because we already well studied. But we're, like I keep saying, because of the master teachers that are generations ahead of schedule, we are able to get some of the stuff now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that bugs me out.
Exactly. That is going to make sense later. What do you mean make sense later? We need to make sense right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
just like when we study, you know, you read a book, you come back 5 years later, you read the same book, you read the stuff that you highlighted in that book, and it hits you differently. 5 years, because you at a whole nother level now. Just to add on to what the Grand Sheik was saying, you know, you had a whole nother level. Yo, it's a good, yo. It just bugs me out. Because when I first came into the information, that I'm speaking for me. That's why I know it's different, because now I can listen to Rob's Been Down, and I'm like, dang, man, you were just ahead of schedule when I listened to you 7 years ago. I couldn't get it then. But I can watch a video of his from 7 years ago and comprehend it now. Like, oh, that's what he meant. Like, yeah, man, he was just ahead of schedule. And that's plenty of Morris.
Sure.
You can go back and watch Taj when he had the low haircut and watch a video, and now you're like, oh, that's what he meant. Now, because you studied it, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at the video. Taj did the video in '91. You know what I mean? You saw it before, but now 8 years later, it hit you again. But again, he did the video in '91. Did the video, but it hit you differently now.
Yeah.
That's why I know Wuju Ali is the man. Always ahead of schedule.
It was so ahead of schedule.
It was ahead of. That's why he told us. This is for the 4th and 5th generation. Yo, I'm telling you, he's the man, Chris. He's the man. He already knew he was ahead of schedule. You're the man. He knew he was ahead of schedule.
And what else did he say? Because I know that Iran and Persia and all that is east. So he did say your brothers are gonna come save you. So if this guy from the east, right? Cyrus Pasha. Well, how about relating him to Cyrus the Great? This is Cyrus the Great now. The victory over Babylonia expressed all the facets of the policy of conciliation which Cyrus had followed until then. He presented himself not as a conqueror, but as a liberator and a legitimate successor to the crown. He also declared the first charter of human rights known to mankind. He took the title of King of Babylon and King of the land. Cyrus had no thought of forcing conquered people into a single mold, and had the wisdom to leave unchanged the institution of each kingdom he attached to the Persian crown. In 539 BCE, he allowed more than 40,000 Jews to leave Babylon and return to Palestine. This step was in line with his policy to bring peace to mankind. A new wind was blowing from the east, carrying away the cries of humility of defeated and murdered victims, extinguished the fires of sacked cities, and liberating nations from slavery. Cyrus was upright, a great leader of men, generous and benevolent. The Hellenists, whom he conquered, regarded him as a lawgiver, and the Jews as the anointed Lord. Now remember, all of this is for us to recognize that the prophet knew exactly what he was talking about. Told Moors study law. He told Moors brothers are going to come from the east. He told Moors that the nations of the world are waiting for us. He told us that it's us that's the problem. He told us everything that we needed to know. And all we had to do was fill in the gaps. And you can't remember, he's a foreigner. And the only way is if he has some type of national allegiance to be able to do this. Now the complaint filed December 16th, 2019. December 16th, 2019, updated March 28th. Federal question, civil rights. Federal question, civil rights. If civil rights is the federal question, remember this is being filed in district court so it could go to federal court because of the quote unquote complaint that's being made on all these people with their whatever that they're doing to the world. Remember what we read about Cyrus the Great and what he stood for. And then this guy named Cyrus right now has a lawsuit against all these people on behalf of humanity, not on behalf of himself, on behalf of humanity. Remember, this is the time of revelations right now. This is the time, this is the Aquarian age. This is the age with the hole in the pitcher and truth is just flowing out of this vase. And you're not stopping the flow for a few thousand years. Right? Civil rights, remember. In 1883, the United States Supreme Court ruled that the Civil Rights Act of 1875, forbidding discrimination in hotels, trains, and other public places, was unconstitutional and not authorized by the 13th or 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Now, Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that the 14th and 15th Amendment are not necessary for the redemption of the people. Because we're Aboriginal indigenous to the land. We have nothing to do with some act that some Europeans made up. And if since the 1800s, the Supreme Court is saying that it's unconstitutional, how they suing under that in 2020? And then people are looking at that as serious. And it's all part of the distraction to keep you from your nationality and your birthrights. Because everybody got a sniff of Noble Drew Ali's fame and nobility. But it's never gonna work out if Noble Drew Ali's not at the head. That's why we're here, to put him back there. For you to see that these people are trying to show you what you're supposed to be doing. But you can't do it because you don't have a nationality. So you miss the boat. And you're sitting here thinking that this is about some Google or some whatever who you're using right now. Anyways, how are you suing them and you're using the stuff still? What you mean? How are you, I'm suing you for punching me in the face. But I keep doing things to get my face punched. You have no suit. Remember, this is the time of revealing. They're just letting you know that, hey, you could do this to these people. The stuff is filed in district court. It's filed. Now, again, if they're talking federal question, there's some things in question. Because federal question, the 740 Black's Law Dictionary, cases arising under Constitution of the United States, acts of Congress, or treaties, and involving their interpretation and application, and of which jurisdiction is given to federal courts, are commonly described as involving a federal question. So if this is only district court and they're talking federal question, the federal question can't be heard in district court, only federal court.
Right.
They're riding on the energy because time's up. Everybody's time's up. This is the North Gate. When the people of the North Gate receive their inheritance, then things will go back to what it's supposed to be. Until then, it's going to be turmoil. Mainly because of our people who think this is about everything else except what it's really about. Again, oh yeah, if anybody has anything to add in. Anybody has anything to add in? There's the link right there.
You know, and study, and it's a good thing to study too, because we know like a couple of basic things. You know, like, well, I guess we could, because it says Pasha versus Google LLC.
Mm-hmm.
But those are corporations. Like, you have to sue in your full capacity. You got to, you know, corporations can't speak. You got to find the flesh and blood of that individual to be able to so-called sue or whatever. Because Google is not a natural person. So they would actually need to sue the people.
And again, showing you what you can do. You pay your 500, 400, or whatever, you file a suit. And again, it's not even like Moors haven't done this before.
Been doing that.
This is not something new. Sue the corporation who violated you. That's not something new. Right?
El Haj said he was going to do it and bring him to
to world court.
World court, right?
Yep.
El Haj said the same exact thing about doing this to these ecclesiastical entities.
Right, and again, going back to our people and their lack of understanding status, right? These are all the defendants. Nowhere in here does it say America or some type of thing that you're not gonna understand. There's either a name to somebody or there's a name of a corporation. There's no guessing. You know exactly who they are or what they are. Our people is going to look at that and then go do live videos and talk about America's getting sued by somebody without even checking who the plaintiffs and the defendants are. Which again, status is the first issue. Remember, on the docket, it's this. The main people getting sued is Google. All these defendants right here, there would have to be one for every one of these. Because again, if you're telling me, yeah, sue New York Times, but then you're going to use their article as some reference point for something. What are you talking about? We're talking from the essence of the suit. You're going to sue somebody. Why would you want to be affiliating with them while you're suing them? How would your suit have power if some of your powers go into them? Again, just showing you what you could do. Because already, like we said, if it's a civil rights, then that's corporate. That has nothing to do with the people. That has nothing to do with human rights. That has to do with policies. Nothing to do with rights. Right? Plaintiffs. John Does are plaintiffs. Victims of persecution, rape, torture, concentration camps, sex, human and organ trafficking, organ harvesting in China, Hong Kong, America, and around the world. Again, just showing you that there's people showing you what you would have to do. Because again, if you're not Christian, then this doesn't apply to you. He's trying to say everybody, unlimited, John Does, but there's no such John. There's nothing called that. There's no somebody called a journalist. Lawyers isn't a person, isn't a living entity. The world's people is not a living entity.
Right.
That's just a phrase.
That's like African American, black, Negro, colored. It's the same thing.
And then there's nationalities on here. There's Tibetan on here, but they're not party to the suit. They're like a because if that was the case, it would have set all those people up here as the plaintiff. But if the number, the docket number is telling you who's suing, and again, if you're suing a corpse, that's what a corpse is for. So the individual who founded the corpse can't be held liable for anything. They've been set this game up. It's not yesterday. They have already had their game set match. Guys already came, cut down the net and all that stuff, and then we're on the court talking about pass, let me shoot, let me get it in. When the stuff is over. Stop letting these people distract you from what it is that you're supposed to be about. You're supposed to be about your nationality and birthrights. If you're not about that, then the boat has left the dock. You think you're you know what I mean, going to the store and driving around and whatever like that when you're in the middle of the ocean. You daydreaming. You're the living Truman Show. You just haven't had the courage to go touch the sky, realize it's a wall yet. You know, been telling you, been beating you in the head like they live. Beating you in the head, make you put on the glasses so you can see what the hell's going on around here. DDT, pile driver you, all that. Just so you can put on the glasses and stop for a second and just look what's going on around you. It's like Morris said, we already know about our nationality and our birthrights. We've already been through the fire. Some of us still going through the fire. Ain't nothing. Raleigh said the fire is going to scorch the good more. So if you're claiming you're a good more and you don't have any scorches, they're looking at you funny. Where's your scorches at? If you're a good more, so righteous and noble Raleigh sent you to help us and all that stuff because you're the grand, supreme, golden dawn guy. It's all about making sure yourself is straight. Because if you leave here and have to come back, you want to make sure that you're back in human form. You better start putting your attention on things that are for your upliftment. Spiritual, mental, emotional. Uplift those things. Don't worry about the physical stuff. It's okay. That's going nowhere unless a meteor hits Earth or something like that. Not going anywhere. Earth's been here billions of years. Had to be people here. I don't know when. I don't have any numbers, but I'm just saying. Had to be people. If Noble Drawley could tell us that, you could hear flying, you could hear wings flapping of things flying. People had to be around. We're here now. And now we have to accept the fact that all our whoever's from before should have been had nationality up so we could do something like this as a body of Asiatics who realize that we're being victimized by a victimizer. And everybody knows it's that guy. How come we can't just do that? No, because everybody wants to be their fiction name to try to prove some point that they saved somebody. They did something for the black guys. They did something for the whatever they want to call themselves. And the first issue at all times is status. He went up as Pasha. He's honoring his foremothers and forefathers. Why aren't you? He honored his foremothers and forefathers. And you're not. You're looking at Moors like we're tripping. Nationality is not the order of the day. Well, he went as his nationality. What you mean? Anyone you Negro suit, it's under your lawyer. How come you don't have no lawyer? How come he doesn't have a civil rights lawyer? How the black guys do? And he's filing a civil rights complaint. And again, if you're suing the corporation with limited liability, who's really affected, really? So the guy who has the millions, he just gets to walk away with the millions and the trillions and the Forbes list, whatever. Islam more.
Islam, how you know the Portugal?
All right, please, more. Moors have told you. All these are the corporations of the guys who the CEOs got fired and all that stuff. But that's not news. This is about your nationality and birthrights. They're doing everything in their power to bring your frequency down to the level of being able to catch a common cold and then claim you have some other BS. Tell Morse, tomorrow we're gonna be doing our I think around 12, 1 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to be putting out some information with our good brother Ross Ben tomorrow. So be ready for that. See what you could muster up to deal with what's going down right now. Right now, what's about to happen, what's going down. Right.
I'm pretty sure he probably got the crazy breakdown for us tomorrow.
Crazy. Right. We want Moors to just, be wise. Yeah, study, but don't forget the foundation. Don't get nuts, because everybody's talking crazy right now. You know what I mean? Everybody has something to say right now. Like we say, we already been told, by our master teachers. We already know what's up. Stuff that you're hearing right now, your ooh and ah and all that stuff, been heard. We've known. We've known. And we're not, saying that this isn't real or anything like that, right? In this day and time right now, who knows what's going on? Who knows? But there's a docket number and all that. So, I mean, something's going on. Just remember, if you're down, then you should probably have a national perspective. If you have a tribal, a band, a person, whatever mindset, you're not talking national and nationality, then stay away from this type of information right here. You're going to get yourself injured. You're going to get yourself injured. You just keep doing whatever it is that you were doing. Don't get caught up in this level of where it's at. Because we're telling you, it's not that they're not present. This is just an aspect of what it is that they're doing. Right? You're looking at some suit. This is not about the suit. It's bigger than they filed some lawsuit and sued some corporation. It's bigger than that. Right? And again, going into Juwadi told us about the electrifying age that's going to be coming and all that.
I like what you said earlier too, Green Sheik, about it reminding you of the Pope's letter.
Yeah.
Just another document putting the people on notice.
On notice. And people getting excited because Amor used it as a reference point. So, oh my gosh, this must be no, that's some Europeans. Just like this man here, standing up for the rights of people across the world, not just for himself, like some of these grand whoever's. They're looking at humanity has a problem and they're trying to help fix humanity's problem.
Right. They didn't take the 1.8 and then try to use birthright to get out of it.
Right.
So you can buy Benzes and BMWs. Now, one school.
No, one school.
Because you can read all of that stuff. You read that document, it's the same thing. King Alfred playing the suing, same thing as them the verses. Same thing. So all that stuff is the same stuff.
So they're AI organization. When you go on the site, this is way bigger than some suit. They're about what Moore's been telling people, putting out information.
Yep.
In order to change the people, you must change their literature.
Exactly. Remember I was telling you earlier, Grand Sheik, in the book from S.P. Scott, The Moorish Empire in Europe, when he said the only thing that saved Sicily at the time, which was the first place the Moors went into when they brought the Europeans out of the Dark Ages, because they was going through the same stuff we going through now. Crazy taxation. You know, the church was the ruling whatever. When the Moors came in there, this is the S.P. Scott said it was a spiritual. The only thing that saved the people was the spiritual intelligence. That's why when I look at AI, you know, intelligence. I forgot what the A stands for, but some intelligence. Artificial intelligence. But like you said, about putting out the information. But they was doing that in 1172 AD. This ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Moore's been saying that too. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Moors was doing that in 1172 AD, bringing the spiritual intelligence. That's the only thing that was going to save us from being in, or save them at the time, being in turmoil, was the spiritual intelligence of them being, you know, with the Moors coming in with, you know, teaching all the above, from geography to speech to all of that. To being able to think, you know, not having a dog eat, because they expanded on it a lot about it being an ecclesiastical way of living life. Like that was just a no, like no, like that's not what you wanted. You wanted to be able to know how to live. Moors came in with a way of, I remember, because of the Moors, and it was so many Moors in the Sicilian courts, with the Roman Emperor King Frederick. One of the governors underneath the King Frederick of the Roman Empire was a Moor. He ended up passing a law that it was a law passed that Europeans had to bathe. Like not only did we teach them to wash, we even had to pass a law for them to bathe. This again, I'm talking about in the 1100s, 1200s. This was going on. Bringing the spiritual intelligence. Because all of this reminds me, I'm like, man, all of this, what's going on now, it's the same thing. It just seems like it's always some type of quote unquote plague that's happening. And then when you come out of some plague, if you check history, when they come out of some type of plague, it's always the Moors to come bring them out of the plague.
Yeah.
Even when they had the plague and the Europeans were just dying off, the Moors came in and saved them. The cure was vinegar. The cure was vinegar. That's the truth.
The cure was vinegar.
The vinegar saved these Europeans from the plague. And then when I heard that, I was like, that's how nasty they were. Like you just had to soak them in vinegar. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
It's true.
But then that, again, back to the disease, or that's a virus, the plague. And they tell you now, what you're supposed to do? Drink your teaspoon of vinegar now to keep clean, wash your hands. Moors told these Europeans to do that in the 1100s. It's 2020. That's why when the Grand Sheik said, the Moorish master teachers literally been telling us this. Been telling us this. But we missed it. Why? Because we was looking for Jesus. Yo.
Missed it. Looking for damn Jesus.
Looking for Jesus.
That's what we're looking for. Missed it. Just a lot more.
So,
You know it is. Don't forget, tonight, Canaanland Morris class, 7 p.m. We got our interview today with Sister Jade Brooks.
oh,
Tonight's our interview with Sister Jade Brooks. 7 p.m. We're going to be going in on this teen sex trade, especially with everybody being online right now and children being online and all that type of stuff, and you know, teens being online and nobody monitoring their online activity and whatever like that. I'm gonna give you some lessons today from somebody who was in that realm, wrote a book about it, and the psychology is crazy, you know. And you know, we know that the younger generations are extremely vulnerable and naive to certain realities of this heaven and hell that we call Earth. You know, so it's going to be an interesting interview. Like we said earlier, if you have your daughters, your whatever available, it's going to be a very good conversation, very intense book, very intense read. But you know how we do. We have our highlighters and stuff. There's definitely some things in there for us to have a good conversation later. So right here, Canaanland Mars, 7 p.m. We'll be doing our interview with Sister Jade. Peace and love to all the Mars. Islam to all the mothers everywhere, wherever you're at. Islam to all the Moors, wherever you're at. And again, you know what I mean? You know, get a little something in, you know, get something in. You're in, so might as well get something in. You've done enough stuff out. Let's get something in. Islam, Brother Yusuf, give thanks more. I know you're on that. I know you're appling. I know you're appling every day, all day right now.
Yo, that's it.
There's an apple party. There's an apple party going on.
Nothing else to do.
For
That's
real.
the true sacrifice right there.
Straight.
Yep. And it's an honor to do it.
Yeah.
I love doing it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Islam. Peace and love to all the Moors. And we'll connect with you again at 7 p.m. Islam, Moors.
Islam.